Hello, good morning. As you can see, I combed my hair this morning. This is my mask, which I sometimes use if I have to go into a store around here and it's not good enough for the college campus. You have to have some medical special deal to get on the college campus where they're really, really stupid. And that reminds me, I was going to say this. You know, the other day I was dowsing the different generations. You know those charts? I have it up here somewhere. I'll try to put it up. I think I have it on my desktop, and I'll put it on here. So you have all these generations before World War II, after World War II, and when I was in high school, I was part of a. I wasn't part of the baby boomers, right? The baby boomers went up to 1950, roughly, and then through my college and adult life, they keep increasing that age too. Now I'm a baby boomer. I'm at the edge of it, at the end of it. But that's what they do. There's no hard, parameters here. But basically, so you have millennials and centennials, and I don't know them all. There's quite a few, and there's a new group. So the millennials are really big, but they're probably broken up into more pieces. And the one thing about millennials is they have this social justice in general, like it's like a natural law of the universe, social justice, and it's actually a communist term from the 1920s. And you can go read Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who spent about 8 years in a gulag, which is a concentration hard labor camp, because he wrote letters back home saying that the Russian army was not prepared for the war, and he was on the front lines of the war. So he went to this gulag, and he basically survived, where many died, and just for nothing, basically kind of being a Christian in a way. And if you don't know, in the Soviet Union, the Russian Orthodox Church had to go underground, and they had these state-appointed priests. And then the other priests that were underground, it was called the catacomb priests, underground catacomb. Anyway, I kind of went off topic here. The point is, this infection of social justice, it ends up killing people. That's the goal. And if you don't go along with the social norm, they're going to eventually kill you, one way or the other. That's down the road. And we're in this thing where the millennials actually kind of think this way. They kind of think like, well, you have to be soft in your free speech, and or you might insult someone or hurt someone's feelings. You got to get used to life is someone's going to hurt your feelings all the time. And the part of the fiber of a classical education is to let it just roll off your back. It's like, you can't have a fight every single day of your life over minor inconveniences or minor insults. You can't overreact when you get your way, because those aren't surviving skills, even in a civilized society. Wait till what happens if a civilized society breaks down a little bit. That whole generation is almost dead. It's really astounding that they really don't have what it takes to survive in the internal makeup to survive this sort of thing. What is important and what is not important. And I was going to say, so here, this is the whole point of the video is coming right up. Let me get to it. So I went through the different generations to see their vibration and things like that. Or let's call it the political intention rating, all right? So I got the generation. So let's say Trump's populist message. Here is the benchmark, and over here is negative against the populace, and here's the pro-Trump populist movement. So you don't have to agree with all Trump stuff, but it's basically the Constitution. You're for the Bill of Rights. You're for freedom. You're for, everybody having your rights, and we respect each other. We don't beat them up and yell at them when they're having their cafe latte, right? You're having a cafe latte. You just want to enjoy it. You don't want to get verbally abused by perpetually unemployed, spoiled brats. And wait till they find out what life is like, right? Your hair goes like this. It's pretty funny. It's a cosmic joke. Don't worry. All the souls are immortal. Will go on, But we're trying to make a society where we can all grow and increase our frequency and vibration the best we can, the most we can. And that's the society you want, where you have the freedom to choose and make mistakes and to succeed or fail. It's okay. Failing is very normal here on planet Earth. So let's look at the millennials, their view of that populist movement. They severely hate it, all right? I would say they hate like Trump. All right, -9. Critical. It's like psychotic, their hate for the Trump, all right? And I'm saying this as for the, I don't know what you want to call it, the WASP type, the Christian Western ethos that was nowhere else in the world. It came out of nowhere, and Notre Dame in Paris represented that ethos. Where people kind of worked hard and they raised families and things. And that was shattered and has been under attack since World War II. And it's very weak right now. But all the alternatives being offered by the millennials is basically really raw communism that's going to lead to tens of millions of deaths. And people like, I can't think of his name, that crazy guy from the 60s who mentored Barack Obama. You know who I'm talking about. And he writes in his writing he wants to kill people. We might have to kill 20, 30 million Americans because they will not change. What a little spoiled brat. And this is all for political power. This is for, and everybody is poor. That's equality. Equality is everyone is poor. So we're equally poor. And you have crummy food, drafty houses, kids dying all over the place. And free medicine will be a pill. That's it. You get a pill. You get some aspirin from the doctor and things like that. These are very deranged people. So the millennials are just like off. I'm dowsing this right now. I wonder if I can show you on. Here, I got my pendulum. It's really, really amazing how much they hate all that. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and even the idea of God. They just hate God. And for me, God is a very. Can you see this? 1 through 10, please. 10 over here. Show me the vibration of God. Show me the vibration of God. Okay, I hit a water bottle. All right. It's a 10. All right. It's more than a 10. It's 330. So on Earth, this word, God, is the highest vibration you get. Christ, universal Christ, universal truth. All these are 330 times the average vibration of a human today. So they're really big, and there's many, many other words. And I haven't gone through it. Show me show me social justice. Show the word social justice. And there you go. All right? It's actually 0. It means Satan. So if you argue Satan, this is the domain of Satan. This kind of makes sense because we're under the rule of social justice. And the Democrats went all the way to the dark side, as you say, from Star Wars. This is the dark side. This is the manifestation. This is the baby is born and the mother gets to choose whether to kill it. We're going to have a discussion whether the baby lives or dies. And many times they want to just, well, these organs they want the organs, and you can't defend this. You can't. An enlightened being cannot defend this. We are enlightened light beings, and we are changing right in front. And this is why the satanic darkness and their agents are making this move. That's why they have to cheat in this election coming up. They know they have to cheat. They're losing badly. So when I douse it as, yes, Trump is going to win, but how much are they going to cheat? How close are they going to get with their fraud to prevent Trump from being reelected? Because he's going to win by a landslide, but they're going to stuff the ballot box in all 50 states, and it's going to look closer than it really is. And they're going to challenge all these court things and drag it out. I have, in spite of that, he'll win, all right? In spite of that. But it'll just be a little bit closer, even though it's most people are rational. So this generation right now, I'm going to call it, and you can steal this idea because I give ideas out and people steal them all the time. But this is the COVID generation. They're under 20 years old. Let's just call it under 20. I don't know about 21. See, 21 is you're a senior or a junior in college. And those guys are a little tainted from the millennials, all right? Or whatever they're called. The millennials are really big. They grew up with computers and iPhones, and they're really disconnected from their soul. And that's what the iPhones and smartphones were designed. Everybody's isolated. And COVID even made everybody more separated. In my generation, I can go up and talk to people at a train station and talk freely, waiting for the train, waiting for a bus, at the plane, it was no big deal. Right now, everybody's afraid to express their feelings, or their political ideas, because they might get yelled at by these wacko millennials who are so disconnected from spirit, so disconnected from their higher self. Now, a lot of these, they have an opportunity coming up to correct that, to change it, and a lot of millennials are. So I got to hurry up. But the COVID generation, show me how much they support President Trump. This is 20-year-old and below. And look at that. It is 90%. 90%. And we saw the previous millennials hate Trump's. And if you don't want to call it Trump, call it the populist agenda. And we're going to go back to freedom of expression, and more the individual makes a difference. No more identity politics, and probably a critical eye on transgenderism. We're going to have to correct that maybe. Maybe just say no. And what did you hear what Poland did a couple months ago? They got rid of sex education in the schools. Why would they do that? Because man doesn't understand it. They go, the old system was much better. You got it from the parents. You turn 18, you can go figure out and mess up your life all by yourself. That's the traditional way. And your parents would or would not tell you. But what they're teaching is they're infecting everyone 100% with a fake view of sex, because it comes from Master and Johnson and all these other worthless psychologist studies, because they're all fraudulent, because they're predetermined to come up with gay marriage or gays raising children and pedophilia becoming legal like they want to do in California. This shouldn't even be on the table, but it's on the table to be legal. And it's better to go back and to say, just teach them how to read and write, geography and some history. And history is all fake too. But that's what I'm saying. The COVID below 20, I'm getting really big shift. And it's because they were locked in over the summer, over last semester. into their rooms watching this little nonsense, little squares. I'm a little square on it. No, they intuitively know, and they're angry. And they're angry at their millennial parents for allowing this to happen. And they see that Trump wants to take off the mask and say, let it rip. Because you know what, young people? You're not going to die. It's your parents who are going to die. I'm just sort of saying. And they know this. So I'm wondering if anyone out there has seen any shift like this. Am I picking up something that is not there, or it's something else? It's a subtle shift of awareness, and they're below 20. They're in high school and college, and this group is really pro-Trump agenda. They're not these leftists. You know, they're not the 25-year-olds running around burning cars who don't know anything. You know, it's not their fault. So this is kind of interesting because it kind of falls in line with the crystal children, the indigo children, the angelic children, whatever you want to call them. This group here kind of flying under the radar. And this is the generation that's going to really save humanity. All right, bye-bye.